You can't replicate the first game of the season, the jitters, the excitement. What goes through your head this time of year?
Just a lot of nervous, pent-up energy here, and basically waiting to get going. See, through training camp, you look at the guys, and they've done wonders to get themselves to this particular point, but you don't know what it's going to translate to. So, get that first face-off and get back to normal and see where we are.
Make it a play on words because you're going up against Vegas. I'm not asking you to tip your hand, but what, if anything, can you share about the identity that you want your team to play to this year?
Play, physical, purposeful, and a lot of pace at the end of the day. The changes we made in the back end are going to make us harder to play against, and that's a huge factor, I think, that we kind of missed last season. So those guys coming in are going to do a great job there. And again, I think I mentioned it yesterday or something like that, but anyways, the guys we brought in also going to help with our pace getting up the floor. We balance our attack. It's not just going to be Matty Gilray carrying the ball or Reese or Brad Gillies. It's going to be Tutton. It's going to be Jordan, or not Jordan. It's going to be Josh Medeiros. Jordan's his brother, coach forever. Anyways, long story short, we got a bunch of guys that are going to be able to push pace, and our old guys, that chemistry they built last year is just going to continue, and that's going to be our recipe.
You reference it. It seems like the Knighthawks made a focus on the defensive side of the ball. Is it fair to say when you look at Vegas, they made a focus on the offense?
I think so, 100%. And again, they brought in some backdoor guys as well. That's going to help them shore up a few things. And yeah, their offense is different. You look at their roster; they got 10 guys that are different from the last time we played them. And again, it affects everywhere on the floor for them. But yeah, offensively, they're going to be a bigger load to handle.
Nobody wants to see what happened to Panther City. The NLL wants to see expansion. But did this league get better? Was there sort of an addition by subtraction? Every team got a little bit better through the dispersal draft?
Like I say, every team's bottom end got better, got deeper, and we're the exact same. Like I say, we just went from a team that had question marks to a team that, right now anyways, we are so happy with what we got, and we just got to make sure it's going to translate.
What do you see as a threat with Vegas? We talked about their additions, but collectively, you've played them a couple times last year. What makes them a challenge?
You know what? Right side right now as well. Hannah is a load on his own, but you add Donville into the mix there, and you add a couple lefties on that side, and Taylor and Porteous there. There are two guys that are just going to balance that attack. That's going to create a handful. And the other thing too is we got to make sure we're going to be smart because they are going to push pace. They beat us with the pace in the second half last year to take over that game. So we just got to make sure we're, like say, a year older, hopefully a year smarter, and a year quicker to react.
That half was not an anomaly at times last year. It was happening a lot. So that emphasis for 60 minutes, I imagine, is kind of a non-negotiable this year.
It's got to be an entire focus for the entire game, and that's going to be the difference for us. That if we can control that, can control our emotions, control our focus, and control what we're going to do. And it's one thing we talked off right at the beginning of the season. We're not going to. A lot of teams we say what's next. We're focused on what's now, making sure we're reacting, we're thinking a step ahead versus reacting so much.
Sean Williams is not a stranger. How well coached are they?
Very well. He's very meticulous and he's very detail oriented, and he's going to have those guys primed and ready to go and focused and dialed into what they need to do, and we got to make sure we're at least matching that, if not pushing a little bit more.